SCP-3765 Beaver Builders Building Buildings. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Per the Boring Agreement, containment of SCP-3765 defaults to Group of Interest 466, Wilson Wildlife Solutions. The Boring Agreement states that containment of all fauna within Clackamas County classified as Euclid or safe defaults to Group of Interest 466. All SCP-3765 instances located that are not in the custody of Group of Interest 466 are to be contained within a Site-64 standard containment chamber and given sufficient food and water. After containment is established, instances of SCP-3765 are to be immediately reported to Wilson's Wildlife Services liaison Frank Richardson and SCP-3765 head researcher Throckmorton. Civilian hunting of any beavers within Clackamas County, Oregon is to be discouraged through ad campaigns on local television networks by the Wilson Wildlife Services. Description: SCP-3765 is an anomalous group of Castor canadensis, North American beaver, consisting of at least 1,400 beavers found in Clackamas County, Oregon, and centralized in the town of Boring. Instances of SCP-3765 have higher average intelligence and significantly higher collaboration skills than their non-anomalous counterparts. SCP-3765's primary anomaly is the ability to replicate any human structure after being allowed to examine a building or observe blueprints of a structure for a time relative to its complexity. Instances of SCP-3765 prefer to build their structures on riverbeds and other areas where non-anomalous beavers reside, but have been shown to take civilian clients for inland construction. It is worth noting that SCP-3765 will always use wood for all components of a structure, even when non-wood materials are called for. For example, screws, nails, or washers. SCP-3765's secondary anomalous property is the ability to communicate in fluent English. Addenda: SCP-3765-1 Discovery. SCP-3765 was brought to Foundation attention on Redacted after Wilson Wildlife Solutions received a number of phone calls from civilians encountering a group of beavers requesting the blueprints to their homes. See Addenda SCP-3765-2 for a transcript of one such call. Addendum: SCP-3765-2 Transcript. Caller calls Group of Interest 466. An employee of Group of Interest 466 picks up, hereby referred to as Respondent. Respondent: Hello, you have reached the Wilson Wildlife Solutions Wildlife Helpline. How may I assist you? Caller: Hi, so the weirdest thing happened just 10 minutes ago. You probably won't believe me. Go ahead, sir. I'm sure I've seen weirder things. Alright, so these beavers with hard hats knocked on my door and, not these guys again. Other people have reported this too? Yeah, just recently we've been swamped with calls about these beavers, but please continue so I can place a full incident report. Right, so these beavers with hard hats knocked on my door, and when I opened up, they did the weirdest thing. They asked to see the blueprints to my house. I told them I didn't have them and quickly shut the door. Luckily, they ran away after that. Thank you. We will have a team come to your house soon. May we have your address? Oh, of course. My address is Redacted. Thank you. I'll send somebody there as soon as possible. Have a nice day. End log. No. A group of Wilson Wildlife Service employees were dispatched to the caller's location at 1638. At 1723, visual contact was made by SCP-3765, and at 1735, 15 instances of SCP-3765 were in the Wilson Wildlife Solutions custody. Addendum: SCP-3765-3 Wilson Wildlife Solutions letter exchange regarding SCP-3765. Below is a letter exchange between Wilson Wildlife Services liaison Frank Richardson and SCP-3765 head researcher Throckmorton. To the great folks at the SCP Foundation. As you well know, as per the Boring Agreement, all containment of anomalous wildlife defaults to us, but you still have oversight of what we do with such anomalies. As such, we would like to ask your permission for a special project with the Beavers, or what you like to call SCP-3765. After receiving several calls about these construction-loving beavers, we decided that we had to see for ourselves what these little guys could do. We went down to a riverbed where they were rumored to reside, and we were amazed by what we saw. They had built up almost a small town. They had things like a motel, tackle shop, and even a diner. All made of wood, of course. We visited a building that looked exactly like City Hall, and we spoke to some of these beavers about what they were doing here. It was amazing the kind of ideas they had, and the ambition they possessed. After seeing firsthand the kind of craftsmanship and intelligence that these beavers have, we believe that these beavers, if put to work, could expand our operations by a large margin. If given the proper training, we could have these beavers building things for our operation. This could expand our facilities significantly, making it so that your Foundation would not have to do as much work for us. We know you folks aren't too keen on using anomalies, you would rather keep them all contained, but we believe that the benefits far outweigh the minor breach in protocol that would be necessary. Please, consider our request. Thank you. Frank Richardson. Dear Mr. Richardson and the rest of Wilson's Wildlife Solutions, after carefully considering your offer, we have decided to begin testing SCP-3765 for subordination and cooperation with the Foundation. If they pass these tests, we will approve SCP-3765 for use within Wilson Wildlife Foundation. Anomalies are generally too unpredictable or dangerous to be of safe use, and we rarely, if ever, use them ourselves. We've never granted this right to any other organization, but your organization has proven itself to be trustworthy. As you can imagine, there will be a lot of red tape surrounding an event such as this. If this goes through, we're going to keep a close watch on everything you do with SCP-3765, and if you go out of line, we will be forced to revoke your access to specimens of SCP-3765 for purposes beyond containment and study. If you do this right, it could set the precedent that anomalies can be used safely and responsibly by organizations other than the SCP Foundation. Best of luck, Dr. Jared D. Throckmorton, SCP-3765 Head Researcher. Mr. Throckmorton, thank you so much. As you can imagine, it's hard to hire people for a secret wildlife preservation service specializing in animals that don't obey the laws of nature. So, we need all the help we can get, and I believe that these beavers would significantly expand our Foundation. Thanks a million, Frank Richardson. Frank Richardson. The tests on SCP-3765 have been completed, and they have passed within acceptable levels. I have been authorized to let you use SCP-3765 on a trial basis. Be advised that if anything goes wrong, you and your company will be liable, and we will be forced to revoke your access to SCP-3765. Other than that, I hope they serve you and your company well. Best of luck, Dr. Jared D. Throckmorton, SCP-3765 Head Researcher. Mr. Throckmorton, we can't thank you enough for letting us use these beavers. We've spoken to them about our agreement and they seem ecstatic. We've already begun putting them to work building a new wing for our on-site dormitories and they're doing a great job. We're thinking about teaching them how to use materials other than wood, but they seem a little apprehensive to that. They've streamlined our productions of facilities, and I think that this arrangement is going to be instrumental in the growth of the Wilson Wildlife Services. The good part for you is that they work for free, so this could slash the amount of money you need to give us by a significant amount. See Article 3, Chapter 4 of the Borg Agreement for more details on the finances. Kindest regards, Frank Richardson. P.S. I know it might be hard to do with all your super serious top secret save the world stuff, but you should take a day off and see the beavers. It's amazing. Dear Frank, I'm glad that the beavers are being put to good use. After studying their behavior, I feel like they will be of great help to you, if you treat them with respect, of course. They really are interesting animals, aren't they? With the way that they all work with one another to bring about a common goal. If we didn't have to keep them a secret, I think that they could easily replace all human construction workers with how well they work together. I suppose I've grown quite fond of these creatures in my study of them. Sincerely, Jared Throckmorton. P.S. I'd love to come down there and see them sometime. Thank you for listening to SCP-3765. If you enjoyed this SCP, please like and subscribe, and follow the link in the description of the SCP Wiki, and vote it up to support it and the SCP Wiki as a whole. Also, if you have any SCPs you'd like for me to do, please leave a comment below, and I'll see what I can do.